Hi my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett and more. As always my dear friends, before we dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to begin with a filming update for The Mandalorian Season 3, and we do have some great news by Bespin Bulletin. A few hours ago they updated us with this. The Mandalorian Season 3 began filming last week at Manhattan Beach Studios. They're filming and they've been filming for over a week, and then they say no, Pedro isn't there, they'll be filming at the train yard sometime in October. This is the way. Now we shouldn't be too worried about Pedro Pascal because he usually isn't in the suit for most of it. They have a couple of stuntmen doing a lot of the work, and then Pedro Pascal usually fills in his vocal lines later, and of course anytime he is helmetless. But the big takeaway from this is that The Mandalorian has begun filming last week. Now as I mentioned in yesterday's video, there is a potential strike that's going to happen for all Hollywood studios, and if that does come into play that will affect The Mandalorian. So that was just a quick update, and now we're going to talk about the Book of Boba Fett because Sasha Banks, who played Koska Reeves of the Nite Owls in The Mandalorian, might be returning this December sooner than we thought. This is from Comic Book, and they say the Book of Boba Fett is Sasha Banks teasing a return. Now before we dive into this, I will say that Koska Reeves was one of the rumoured characters for the Book of Boba Fett all the way back in January. So is she going to be in the series? It wouldn't be too far-fetched, but let's see what this article has to say. Star Wars fans think that Sasha Banks might be returning in the Book of Boba Fett after she shared a picture of the new Boba Fett poster on Instagram. Needless to say, a lot of Star Wars fans fully expected Banks to return as Koska Reeves in The Mandalorian Season 3, but there's not been too much talk that she would show up in the Book of Boba. While Banks posting a photo of Boba might just be one Star Wars cast member cheerleading for her franchise teammates, it would also make sense for Reeves to appear in the series from a character and narrative standpoint. We also know that the Book of Boba Fett is rumoured to have an all-out Mandalorian battle, so the Nite Owls appearing, including Koska Reeves, would not be too much of a surprise. It's also worth noting that Koska Reeves and the other Nite Owls had an issue with Boba Fett strutting around in the Mandalorian armor. This led to a full-on bar fight in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, but it seems as though for now, the two of them were able to put their differences aside. So who knows, we might see Koska Reeves appear this December. I'd be really excited to see her, and it does make sense in line of what the show is going to be about. So now my dear Mandalorians, we're going to talk about something you probably didn't expect today: Rangers of the New Republic, the show that was reported back a few months ago to no longer be in active production. But there is some confusion around it after some recent reports from The Hollywood Reporter. Again, this is from Bespin Bulletin, and they shed some really important light on it, so let's see what they've got to say. Confusion and uncertainty around Rangers of the New Republic as trades mention the series following the Book of Boba Fett announcement. Back in December of 2020, Kathleen Kennedy announced two spin-off series of The Mandalorian, one of which was Ahsoka starring Rosario Dawson, and of course Rangers of the New Republic. The third Mandalorian spin-off is of course the Book of Boba Fett, but the two other series, Ahsoka and Rangers, are both being produced by the Mandalorian duo Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, with the former writing Rangers and the latter writing Ahsoka. At the same time, it was rumoured that the Mandalorian star Gina Carano was set to lead this series as Cara Dune, which was later backed by trades, but after she was fired in February of 2021, it was revealed by Variety that Rangers of the New Republic was no longer in active development, and that was the last we've heard of the series. The show was never cancelled though, it was only shelved. But in the last few days there has been a bit of confusion after The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Lucasfilm and Disney are currently planning to release 11 Star Wars series in the next few years, and Rangers was mentioned as one of the first. It's also worth mentioning that Variety also briefly mentioned Rangers when covering the Boba Fett news the other day, reiterating on what they previously reported. So for now, we really don't know what this means and where the show stands. We know that we will eventually get Rangers of the New Republic, but it will be a different lead than Cara Dune. It's just a question of when, and I think these outlets have probably heard a few whisperings here and there that suggest Rangers is slowly in the works behind the scenes. That doesn't mean it's in production yet because we know it's not, but there could be plans to start production in the next year or so. We know that after The Mandalorian Season 3 finishes filming next March, Ahsoka is the next series to go into production, and that might be followed by Rangers. And in terms of the show's plot, now that Cara Dune of Alderaan is no longer in the picture, there have been rumours of characters like Cobb Vanth, Hera Syndulla, and even Carson Teva being front and center. But either way, and whoever it is, Favreau and Filoni will tell the story that they need to, and since it's part of the Mandalorian spin-off shows, it's going to have a lot of crossover with Mando, Boba, and Ahsoka. I'm excited for all of these series, and as always guys, I will be doing my full episode breakdowns, so be sure to subscribe for more. Ever since it was first announced, Rangers has been a show I've been really looking forward to. The New Republic era is one of adventure and tons of unknowns, so that show is really going to fill the gaps of the story after episode 6. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fan service too, and it's going to feel very true to the original trilogy just based on the title and premise alone. Evidently the plot will be changed a bit compared to the original vision that Favreau had, but it's really reassuring to know that they do have a plan for this, they're not rushing it, and this overall story is one which is coherent and takes place across multiple series. It's a story that is bigger than I think most of us realize at this point. And I'm talking about The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Rangers, and any other unannounced possible shows that could come up in the future, especially when you factor in Grand Admiral Thrawn's return, the possibility of elements of Heir to the Empire being canonized, and so much more. I have complete faith that it's going to be incredible and I'm all for it. We're not really talking about Rangers yet as a fandom, mainly because we have Boba, Mando Season 3 and Ahsoka, all of which presumably come out before Rangers, but it's never too early to be excited. I often call this the golden age of Star Wars. You can call it the golden age, the silver age, whatever you want. It's an amazing time to be a fan. And in the short term, before Rangers comes out, 2022 is going to be jam-packed with amazing content. You guys hear me talk about it all the time here on the channel. I really can't wait for all of it. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts of today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, a huge welcome if you are. And also don't forget to check out my Patreon, the link is down there in the description, and you get access to videos that are not found here on YouTube. You also get access to the Discord server and much more. And just one final thing guys, thank you all so much for the incredible growth recently. Your support means the world to me. We are on the road for 100k subs, and when we do reach that milestone, I will be doing some kind of special video. I'm still in the process of deciding what that is, but ultimately it's my patrons who decide. I really can't wait. This has been an incredible road to where I am today, and it's all thanks to you guys. But otherwise, may the force be with you. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I'm wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.